Every great hero needs a great villain. And in the Highlander series, the very first villain had one job, and that is to make the audience fear immortals again.
I'm Duncan MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod, born 400 years ago in the... Well, no, not really. That was a TV show called Highlander. So, just listen to Rockin' at the Movies with me, Adrian Paul, and Shane Comley-White, and you'll learn some interesting facts.
Before Kronos and before Xavier St. Cloud and before Callus, there was Slan Quince, a sadistic immortal who walked into Duncan MacLeod's peaceful life and reminded him of the brutal truth. You can never escape the game. But there's one thing that makes Slan truly terrifying. He doesn't just enjoy killing. He enjoys breaking people psychologically first. Today we're going to break down the first major villain of the Highlander TV series and the chaotic, unpredictable, and deeply underrated Slan Quince. And honestly, without Slan, I don't think there could have been an episode 1 or even a Highlander series for that matter. Slan Quince appears in episode 1, The Gathering, and is the first true antagonist of the TV series, and immediately he feels different from most Highlander villains. He is not noble and he is not philosophical, not even pretending to have honor. He's pure predatory instinct. According to the Highlander law, Slan was born centuries earlier and became an immortal after his first death. Like many evil immortals in the series, immortality amplifies the worst qualities instead of elevating him. And by the time we meet him, Slan isn't fighting for survival anymore. He's fighting because he loves the hunt. What makes Slan such an effective first villain is that he immediately establishes a danger in Duncan's world. The pilot episode could have introduced a completely political immortal. Instead, the writers chose a monster. Slan crashes through Duncan's skylight and like a horror movie killer. No warning, no negotiation, and no subtlety. Just pure violence. And from the storytelling perspective, that's genius. Because Duncan starts the episode trying to live peacefully with Tessa, Slan exists specifically to destroy that illusion. He represents everything Duncan is trying to avoid. Endless violence, cruelty, and the inevitability of the game. The corruption of immortality, and most importantly, Slan proves innocent people will always become targets. That changes everything for Duncan. The conflict between Slan and Duncan is actually philosophical. Duncan believes immortality should still allow compassion. Slan believes immortality removes any need for humanity entirely. And you can see this in how they approach violence. Duncan fights reluctantly. Slan enjoys it. There's even a predatory-like confidence in how Slan talks to Duncan. He constantly taunts him, pushes emotional buttons, tests boundaries. Because for Slan, combat isn't enough. He wants emotional domination. And that is what makes him incredibly dangerous. One of the most important details about Slan Quince is his connection to Connor MacLeod. Connor immediately recognizes the threat Slan proves. And that tells us something crucial. Connor has likely encouraged immortals like Slan before. Immortals who become addicted to violence over centuries. This is why Connor tries to protect Duncan and confronting Slan himself. But there's a hidden tragedy. Connor underestimates how ruthless Slan truly is. During the fight, Slan uses deception and surprise tactics to gain the upper hand. It's one of the earliest examples of the series showing that evil immortals don't care about fairness and warrior code. For Slan, winning is all that matters. What makes Slan memorable isn't just the violence, it's the unpredictability. He feels unstable, almost feral. Unlike later Highlander villains who manipulate from the shadows, Slan is immediate chaos. And psychologically, he serves a very specific purpose in the story. He forces Duncan to confront what he could eventually become. Because Highlander repeatedly asks one terrifying question: what happens to the human mind after centuries of killing? Some immortals become wise, some become isolated, and some just become monsters. Slan represents a complete moral decay, an immortal who stopped valuing life long ago. The scariest part? He seems completely comfortable with that. The climax between Duncan and Slan is more important than most fans actually realize. This isn't just Duncan killing another immortal. This is Duncan accepting that peace is impossible. When Duncan finally beheads Slan and absorbs the quickening, it symbolically drags him back into the game forever. And Richie witnessing the quickening is equally important because of the very moment onwards, the secret will of Immortal becomes real to him too. Slan's death doesn't just end the threat, it launches the entire series. Slan was designed to be brutal immediately. The writers intentionally wrote Slan as aggressive and chaotic and quickly established the darker tone of the series. He mirrors the Kurgan. Many fans see Slan as a television-era version of the Kurgan from the original film. Violent, sadistic, enjoying fear, treats immortality like a game, but Slan is less theatrical and arguably more realistic. He exists to break Duncan emotionally. Slan's attack against Tessa aren't random. He deliberately targets Duncan's emotional vulnerabilities that become a recurring strategy for many later Highlander villains. Slan Quince may only appear once, but his impact shapes the entire identity of Highlander the series. Because in one episode, he teaches Duncan and the audience the most important value of immortality. The game never ends, and that there can be only one.